Okay, I just had to make sure that everybody was still saying it. Welcome to another episode of Diamond Deck Discussions Unfiltered, everybody. I'm Coach Rob. That's Coach Jace over there. We are back. We started the episode like that because honestly, we deserve to. I believe. I don't know if that song is copyrighted or not, but you know what? Fuck it. At this
It's
point,
the band. Let the band play next.
yeah, it's a. I recorded that from my phone at Tiger Stadium.
Hey, Rocco's put it out there. Let the band play neck when they put it in LSU.
Yeah.
Board,
Okay. So here's a topic for you, bud.
None's happy. Who's happier?
Do we break our own record?
Yes.
By how much?
Yeah. LSU's hitting 75.
I was thinking 72.
Okay.
I was thinking about 72. I think we're going over 70 for sure.
All right. We got one on the board already for bets here.
All right. So 73 and a half, 73 and a half, put over under.
Okay.
Yeah. 73 and a half. I'll go under. You go over.
73 and a half.
If you would like to join in on any of these bets, feel free. Let us know what you bet.
Hold on.
We'll announce it whenever.
Let's clarify, since the Danny Dickinson ball in air thing, we didn't really clarify that good if they played a game 3 versus a game 2.
This is a very easy clarification. Rocco's Jello Shots. How many does LSU buy? The over-under set at 73 and a half. Do you pick over or under?
Does LSU go 2 and Q, or does LSU play the whole weekend?
Well,
that's where I'm clarifying.
factors,
I understand what the over-under is. I'm not an idiot.
Doesn't matter.
But it does factor into.
No.
Oh, it absolutely does.
No.
What?
You don't think Gordon's going to call if LSU's out? You
No.
don't think Ty Graves is going to call if
No.
LSU's out? No, this is about – no, listen to me. This is about
No.
pride. This is about pride. I promise you. This is more than baseball.
Did you see the board from last year? Or 2 years ago, I mean?
So
Last time we was in Omaha?
Yeah. No, I was there.
68,888.
I was there.
Okay. No other team had more than like 10,000.
There was a 12 in there somewhere. I'd have to pull it up. Actually,
okay. 12.
I'll pull it up.
So we won by 56,000. We don't need Ty Graves or Gordon McKernan to call in the shots to win this thing.
No. To win it, yeah, we win it for sure. It doesn't matter if we're two and out or whatever. We win the Jello Shot competition.
But if we go 2 and Q, Ty Graves and Gordon McKernan are not calling it. Not happening. Why would they support a team that's not there anymore? I don't think LSU is going 2 and 2.
Final count.
But
I
2 and Q. But
where was it at? There's a picture.
There is a picture.
There's a picture of it. Oh fuck! Here we go. Oh, here we go. I got it right here. All right. So Florida had there was no one over.
Nobody over 10.
There was nobody over.
Like 7-6.
The second highest is Wake Forest at 76-22.
Yeah. Yeah.
LSU had 88.
68,888, and the next closest team was 61,000 away from us.
Yeah, because once LSU dude, I'm telling you, you walk into Rocco's and they would not let any LSU fans buy shots because somebody had called in. It was either, look, you want to put the cat on the air, sweetheart?
God.
You want to put the kitty on the air?
It's a very sweet kitty.
Do you want to? You want to introduce everybody to the kitty?
Bring the cat over.
All right, everybody. This is our new kitty. This is Itsy. All right, she's a feisty one.
She's a shy one.
She is very sweet. She's very playful. Okay. Now, with that being said, baby, you want to take in? Hey, okay. You want to take in on any of this action? Over under LSU Jello Shots, we put it at 73.5K. 73,500. Over?
Yes. No, 68,888.
No.
Someone's already put in the order for that much?
No. Wait, what?
Someone's already put in an order for 48,888.
Huh? Oh,
where the fuck did you find this?
Where'd
you find this?
CWS Jello Shot Challenge. Here we go. We're about to find this.
Yeah, it's probably on Rocco's right now if it's actually real.
Well, so we ended up. I mean, I got the old board pulled up from
If someone
2023.
plans on ordering that much, it might be Gordon McKernan again.
Okay, so 68,888 is what we finished at
Last year,
in
yes.
in 2 years ago in
2 years
23.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and we won by 61,000. So we're thinking. Jay said 75,000. I
Even
said
if the
72.
48,888 isn't true, 100% taking the over on 73.5.
There you go.
All right,
The only one I've seen is
Probably
that
closer to 100.
is that Peak Sports Management.
100,000. You think 100,000 Jello shots?
I said closer to. If I had to guess.
So I will say this, and we're going to talk Murray State here because congratulations on what they did.
All right,
Holy
go play with your
shit.
pussy, baby. Have a good time.
Jesus. Murray State Peak Sports Management did call in ahead and tag Racers baseball fans. The first 100 Jello shots at Rocco's are on us. Shoot us a DM for more info at Rocco's or at CWS is what it's actually. It's not at Rocco's. You can't find it.
Wait, so Murray State has
Murray-
already bought 100 Jello shots?
Murray State is up to a hundo already. They already fixed the board.
It's 100.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, we're about to hit. According to Victoria, we're gonna hit close to 100,000.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one yet, but if we do, hey, that'd be
Dude,
dope. That'd be incredible.
LSU wins the Jello shot competition. I don't care what the number is, but
All right.
LSU wins it.
73.5 if they're there. All week.
I'm going under, but barely.
Okay.
Yeah, even if they're not. Honestly,
Okay. Gotcha.
we
All right,
win it.
I still got over. Yeah, we're definitely winning no matter what. We're gonna
I think once we set the bar, it can only be broken by us, and it has to be broken if we go.
Yeah.
No matter what, it has to be broken if we go. Whether they break it by 1 or 1,000,000, it just has to be broken every year by us if we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I have a feeling that Ty Graves or somebody like that will kind of like maybe next year if we don't go, say Florida goes again or something like that, they'll break our record with Florida. Like they'll call in for Florida, break our record with that. And then the next year, if we go, they'll break Florida's record. Like I don't understand why that's not a competition.
Yeah.
I don't understand why more like government officials don't get involved with buying fucking Jello shots. It goes to a great cause. For every, I think a Jello shot is like, it's either they're $5. They're $5 a piece.
$5 Jello shot. Yeah.
And $1 of that 5 gets donated to, I think it's Meals on Wheels for the state that the school's from.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So if 68,888 Jello shots were bought, that's how much money was raised. Like Stanford raised $912 for
Stanford.
for
Come on, bro.
California. California's a big fucking state.
Bro, we know y'all are smart, but come on.
No, they're not that smart.
900? Seriously, you can't even hit 4 digits?
Oh, yeah, wait.
Come on.
Wait, Virginia, 872.
Yeah,
That was
sad.
this is in 23.
Sad. Speaking of Virginia,
Yeah, they got
Virginia got a new baseball coach.
They got a new baseball coach. What you think? I mean, Duke head coach is
solid, bro.
he's pretty good. He's a pretty good guy.
Solid.
And what makes a good coach is you also have to be a good human being too.
Yeah.
Right? Like Jay is a great person. Like Paul Maneri was a from what I heard, Paul Maneri when he was at LSU, I heard this from a source that played during that time frame. He said that Paul was a stickler, right? He enjoyed his rules and his this and that, but there's definitely there was no getting in trouble,
Right.
from Paul Maneri. Like Paul Maneri wasn't getting in trouble because he played by the rules and he definitely did everything right. But as far as personality goes, he had some, but you kind of tell he played favorites a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Which what coach doesn't?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? But
if a coach tells you he don't play favorites, he lies. Kids, get your parents' permission to listen to us, but your coach lied to you.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of playing favorites, I heard a name I haven't heard in a long time today. A guy I work with, he said, "Hey, do you know a guy named Mason Nickens?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Very well.
man.
I said his mom used to watch me at daycare when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Like I know
Love
Mason. I know
dude.
Mason very well. Mason was a great
Great ball player.
baseball player.
Great ball player.
Played at Eunice, won JUCO national champion. Like I think he won JUCO national championship. I want to say he did at Eunice. No, Evan did,
Yeah.
and Evan was only a year behind him. But anyway, I was like, yeah, I know Mason. And I was like, he said, yeah, we need to all get together and play golf. I was like, fucking right, we do.
Yeah.
I was like,
wait, golf?
I was like,
Yeah, I'm in.
I got so many stories about Mason that I can
Oh,
tell
boy.
growing up. But anyway, but back to it, like Tony's got to be a great guy to play for,
Oh my god.
right?
Yeah.
Just a great personality. There's these certain coaches out there that
Jay.
I said Jay, but yes,
Wes.
absolutely, Wes Johnson.
Kevin O'Sullivan been there for a million. Tim Corbin been there for a million years.
I would love to hear from someone who played for Kevin O'Sullivan, because I don't.
Jack. Let's hear from Jack. Let's get Cags on here.
Cags is busy. Cags is busy going 4 for 4. Cags is
And
busy hitting 120 mile an
Oh.
hour baseballs with off a wooden bat.
Dude is
Cags is fucking busy right now.
Yeah.
But like I
We
would
just need
love to
5
hear.
minutes. 5
would-
minutes.
Well, I don't know. We need something, but I would love to hear from a former Florida player about playing for Kevin O'Sullivan, because it's got to be an honor to even play for him, because he's been around for so long and been in the same place for so long, and he's won so many games that I would love to hear from. I would love to hear. I would also love to hear from like former players of Coach O. You know, like that type of like going to football, like you know.
Right.
But
yeah.
but a good personality also makes you a great coach, is what I'm trying to get at, right? So
And-
which is why Jay got hired, which is why this coach from Duke gets hired at Virginia.
Yeah, Chris Pollard.
Yeah, dude's he's a really just a fun person to kind of listen to talk and
Here's the craziest part. All right. And here's what tells you what kind of coach he is. And, coaching is not about wanting or getting players to play for you and buy into your methods and buy into what you're teaching, but it's also about getting your coaches to buy in, right? Jay Johnson always talks about how much his coach buys into, the game and how much they're at the stadium and they're in their offices scouting, recruiting, watching video, watching game tape, whatever. Dude, according to Monty Taylor on X,
Twitter.
and I quote, I am told the entire Duke coaching staff is going with Pollard, which is massive considering what that group has done over the last few years. Don't be surprised if in the next 2 weeks we don't see 25, 26, 27 Duke transfers, Duke decommits start coming out, because they're going to be and it's not going to be decommitting to commit and just reopen. It's going to be decommit to go to Virginia. And it's going to be open the transfer portal, go to Virginia with Pollard and with the coaches. I mean, dude, you got to think Chris Pollard didn't recruit everyone, right? Like
Right.
we heard just the other day we were watching the LSU game, which we're going to
Pollard's
get
been
to.
there for 12 years as well.
12 years. They got 4 supers appearances. Like, dude, he has risen this. They're always
I haven't made a tournament though.
no,
No.
they're always in the discussion of a top 25 team. Like they're always there. This year we've talked about it. They started good. It got off to a kind of a rougher start a few games in. They fell out of top 25 pretty quickly, came back in, fell back out, came back in. A team that we said was like Wake Forest. We weren't going to bet on them anymore because you just didn't know what team you were going to get. And in fact, I picked Murray State, and that was the specific reason that I picked Murray State, was because I don't know what Duke is. They're too inconsistent this year. That was the reason. If you didn't hear last episode, go back, listen to it. That was the reason I picked Murray State in this 3-game set here, was because I didn't know what Duke team I was going to get. And if you watched the game that Duke won, you're like, fuck, how does anybody beat this team? But then you watch the other 2 teams, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is how other teams beat them.
I know a former LSU. Well, I don't know him personally, but there's a former LSU Tiger out there that I'm not sure. I don't think he got drafted, so it might just be hanging out. That might want to talk to us. That he also played at Duke.
Okay.
DiGiacomo.
Mm-hmm.
Just might be a
That'd be fun.
thing to do. The Italian Stallion.
We got some things happening. The boys got some things happening. Y'all just bear with us here.
Yeah.
We're not going to give any details away.
We keep saying we got things happening. Y'all probably like, these motherfuckers, it's the same two fucking people.
Just
Like,
wait for it. Things are coming. All right.
Yeah.
Things are coming. I promise you things are happening.
Yeah.
But dude, this is a great hire for Virginia. I mean, look, you lost a coach that's been there for forever. Go to Mississippi State, and people are expecting Mississippi State to just take off next year and be one of the powerhouses in the country. Very possible. From what I've seen about NIL money, they don't have a limit. So very possible that this happens. But this is a great hire for
didn't
Virginia
they just
here.
approve?
I mean,
didn't they just say something about
schools can pay?
Was it $20.5 million or something like that?
20 and a half,
Is their
20.4.
budget? But that also
that
doesn't include like NIL deals and all.
Yeah. If
right?
Ty Graves wants to pay Kate Anderson $5 million, that is not included in that $20 million. This is strictly from school to player. So
Do you think that eventually it'll get to where like rich guys like Todd Graves will do that to get guys to stay an extra year?
to stay an extra year, no. To keep high schooler, especially in, well, really only in baseball, to keep high schoolers from going to the draft, yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, we saw that with William Schmidt, but I don't think that had anything to do with NIL money.
I don't think it did either. I think it's all about development. And look, no knock on Schmitty, and looking forward to your next 2 years here.
I'm glad he
But
stayed.
you need it. You need the development, right?
Yeah.
Like clearly, you got off to a great start against. Again, I hate taking away from teams at collegiate levels, Division I baseball. Like you earned it, but you're not the same level of other teams. And you got off to a great start facing the weaker teams, and then you got to some real competition and struggled. And it's okay, right? It's okay. Look at Kate Anderson last year. Struggled.
Had
Okay.
What was his ERA last year?
It wasn't
like
good.
Fucking 20
You're talking about a guy that struggled a lot last year. Was a midweek start. I think he made 9 starts last year. He even got taken out of that role. Comes in this year. He's game one Friday night guy for you, and now it's projected to be number 1 overall pick. I mean, you're talking about a guy that can just do it with the development, and we see this all the time. But when it comes to the money from the business people out there, we'll say, yeah, they'll drop off the money to get them to come to LSU and then go to the bigs in 3 years or when they're 21 and draft eligible.
2024 season, recording an outstanding freshman season for Tigers. 18 appearances. Oh, never mind. He had a 3.99 ERA. I forgot they said something of Cade having like a fucking astronomical number of
Was it during SEC play maybe?
I don't know.
But point being still,
Yeah.
you struggled, you got taken out of a role, you got put in a role, then you got taken out of it. And you come back the next year with a year of development. And my goodness, I mean, Cade's projected to be number 1 pick. Top 5 for sure.
Is he? He's not projected number 1.
Yes, according to Kylie McDaniel, in this past weekend's draft rankings, she had maybe not number 1 pick, but she had him as number 1 overall prospect.
Oh, I mean, I'd figured fucking Root or Liam Doyle or
Dude, Root is doo-doo cakes compared to Cade and
don't
Liam.
You don't
and-
fucking say that.
And Liam Doyle, the last 5 outings has been the garbage monster.
Okay, because we got to face Root game 1 of College World Series. So
Here's the thing about Zach Root, he's a lot like Duke. When he's on, it is fucking good.
Yeah.
And when it's not, it is fucking bad. I mean, you're talking about a guy in Zach Root that Anthony Einstein, when you compare the 2 numbers, it's not close. Way better pitcher.
Yeah.
But again, it is Zach Root, and he is one of the better pitchers in the country. But when you put them side by side, the numbers don't compare to each other. They just don't.
That's what I want to look at.
He has like a 4+ ERA. It's really not good.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hitting, pitching. All right, so look. Root versus Anderson. This already happened this year.
Yes, it has.
Okay.
It's going to happen again in 4 days.
Cade,
5
5
days.
5 2/3, 7 hits allowed, 3 earned, 1 walk, 10 Ks.
Probably his worst outing of the year. That's whenever he had to hand cramp.
That is true. That is true.
That's
And
the game
we-
you and me
we-
had a bet at 9.5, and he hit 10 and then came out
Right.
with that wrist cramp.
Yeah. Yeah. We won this game. He threw 109 pitches in 5 2/3. Wasn't his best outing for sure. But we won that game. Cohen got the dub. We came, it was a late inning comeback. Zach Root, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 earned, 6 Ks, one hit batter. He faced 23. Cade faced 24. 91 pitches for Root. So this is going to come down to if this ends up being a duel like we're thinking, this could be, in my opinion, a repeat of LSU Wake Forest game 2.
I mean, look, it's going to be an absolute battle. It's again, I don't want to take away from Zach Root.
Tom and White walk-off.
You're one of the better pitchers in the country, but you're one of the better pitchers in the country when you are on. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's 8-5.
Always when you're talking.
Well, yeah, he's 8-5 with 119 strikeouts. He's got a 3.59 ERA. That's come down over his last couple of outings, by the way. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
But when you look at a player, so keep that in mind. 3.59 ERA, 8-5. Let's look at a guy like Anthony Ianson with LSU and his stats. Anthony Ianson this year, and his stats go a little bit like this right here. 11-2 with a 2.74 ERA. Ianson was a second-team All-SEC player. Root was a first-team All-Player. Make that make any fucking sense whatsoever.
So here's the thing about Arkansas. They can hit. We know this. Right?
And look,
they're a really good offensive team.
If you listen to Ben talk any, when we played Arkansas all 3 games, Ben, whatever games Ben called, he said Arkansas in his mind was the deepest team, the most complete team, front to back, meaning starting pitching, middle relief.
They were ranked
bullpen.
when they played us. They were ranked number 1 in like every category.
Everything.
If you remember that,
Lead off to 9-hole, the most complete team in baseball defensively. This means everything.
Yeah.
And even the third game where we were winning, he was saying they're still the best team in the country to him. And Ben is an LSU guy.
yeah. But Ben, we all know Ben's a dickhead. So sorry, Ben. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
I don't know if he is or not,
But look, so all right, so go to game 2, right? Ianson, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 0 earns, threw up a goose egg there. 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Faced 24. So it's common, right? I think
Yeah.
Cade also faced 24,
24.
right? Yeah, 93 pitches in 6. Okay. So I mean just a third of an inning more than Cade, but about 10 well,
12 fewer
but
pitches. 15
almost
fewer.
almost 20 fewer pitches.
Yeah.
Than Cade did. And then we go Rizzy Primo, who don't record now. And then we go Newt, who threw 1 full inning. And we only played 7 innings that game because it was 13-3. All right. And Arkansas ended up using 7 guys.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, 6 guys. So now like the question is, what does Arkansas have besides Root?
Well, we're not going to preview that.
No. We're not gonna preview that yet. But I mean, just foreshadowing, right? So we obviously at this point in time didn't exactly have. This is Casey Evans' only loss on the season.
Yeah.
Right. He goes 3 2/3.
Yeah, it was his worst outing.
Worst outing by far.
Just didn't have it that day.
And
it's fine.
And just we lost 7-4.
Thank you, Victoria.
Yeah. But still, every pitcher they threw, 2-2, 1 2/3, 1 1/3, 1 1/3, 2/3. Like it was the same thing as the game before, where their pitching went 2, 1 1/3, 1 2/3, 1 2/3. So it seems like they have one guy in Zach Root that can go 5+.
Yeah.
That can go 3+ at this point
And it has been that way.
against LSU.
Yeah.
At least. I don't know about the other games. I don't care about the other games because they're not playing any other games.
Yeah. You got one game.
And here is my bold prediction.
Okay.
And you can write this shit down. You can fucking stamp it on your forehead. I don't care what you do with it.
I'm going to just start a new sheet here.
Yeah, that's fine.
This one's kind of.
That's fine. We're a little old school here. We write shit down every now and then.
I know. We got our notes pulled up, our shared note. But
Yeah. So bold prediction, Coach. Whoever wins this game between LSU and Arkansas will be in the championship game. They might not win it all, but they will be in the championship game. Now, and I also don't know if you've looked at the betting odds. Arkansas is a favorite at like plus, I think, 200, and then LSU's right underneath them at plus 250, and everybody else plus 4, plus 5. Murray State pulled off a hell of a game against Duke last night, and they end up beer, and they end up going from plus 9,000 to win it all before that game started.
Yeah.
To now plus 2,000 to win it all.
Dude, I tell you, look.
And they're the deepest odds to win it all. And if they hit against every team like they hit against Duke, buddy, everybody's in trouble.
Hey, we talk about it all the time.
It's fucking homer after homer after homer.
Who gets hot at the right time? That is baseball. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter what payroll you got. It don't matter what your record is. Who gets hot at the right time that's who wins championships. If you can figure out a way to just peak at the right time. Perfect example, Texas. Peak too early, right? You run through the SEC with like a 19-2 record or some shit like that, or 19-6 or whatever you were.
You busted before you even took it out.
Or no, it can't be 19-6 because you play 30 games. So 24-6 or something like that. 23-7, somewhere along those lines. You run through the SEC. Nobody else is even close to you. And then you get to the tournament, you get bounced. And then you get to regional, you get bounced. Like you peak too early.
Again.
Arkansas Little Rock.
You busted before she even took it out.
Arkansas Little Rock. You peaked at the perfect time. You just ran into what is a better team in LSU in a game 7, right? You have to win a tiebreaker to even make it into your conference tournament. And then you run 5 games in 4 days to win your conference and get an automatic bid. And then you force LSU. You lose first, you win 2, including a rematch versus LSU to force a game 7.
Let me see that in the pen real quick.
Where you end up getting beat, right? But this game is more all about who gets hot at the right time more than who's the overall better team on paper. It's always been that way. It'll always be that way because it takes a full 9 guys, sometimes 10, 11, 12 guys to get the win. Unless the pitcher is hitting and pitching and he goes 27 punchies, which you still need your catcher to do, by the way. So you're still not doing it on your own because there's a chance that some of those balls were blocked. 27 punchies out of 27 hitters, and you hit one time and hit the only hit of the game and it's a home run, then sure, claim you did it all by yourself. But aside from that, this game has never been won by one person, ever. One person might have the big hit or the big catch, but it takes 27 to win the game. And dude, it's just the way it is. This is the most complete. I don't know what this means, but all right.
I'll explain it in a
This
second.
is the most complete, like you have to have a team effort game ever.
Yeah.
Soccer's close.
Ping pong, whatever. I don't give a fuck. So, what I wrote down right there for you is the two sides of the bracket. So,
okay.
So B1, B2, right?
Okay.
So bracket 1, Coastal Carolina versus Arizona to start it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Oregon State and Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bracket 2, UCLA, Murray State.
Yep.
Arkansas, LSU.
Yeah.
Who has the toughest?
Might need to open that to drink it.
I'm so glad we caught that on camera.
Clip it. Go ahead and clip it.
Where are we at? 30 minutes. Okay.
All right, 30, 40.
30, 40.
30, 40. All right.
So, who has the toughest go of it? Right? So, in my opinion, bracket 1, I'm not saying it's weak, but it's for sure not as strong as bracket 2.
Who has the toughest go is very simple. LSU or Arkansas. That's the two, because you have to play each other. And if you lose, you're in the losers bracket where you got to play extra games. That's it. Plain and simple. If you asked 100 beat writers right now with zero bias to a team, ask 100 beat writers that follow the college baseball game that don't have a bias. Who are the two best teams in the World Series? They're saying Arkansas and LSU. I have no ifs, ands, or buts about that. With Oregon State,
it's not Murray State being on that side of the bracket.
Coastal's on like a 25-game win streak right now.
Okay.
Coastal's probably number 3, and Oregon State's number 4.
Arizona beat the fuck out of North Carolina.
They did.
In 2 games.
They did.
So
which was very impressive.
They're hot. Oregon State beat the shit out of Florida State.
Overall, who's the two best teams in this World Series? Try to give me your unbiased opinion. But it's LSU and Arkansas.
My dark horse to win it all is not one of those 2 teams.
No, it can't be. That's not dark horse teams.
No. I'm saying I'm not asking. I'm telling you. It's my dark horse is Oregon State. That's my dark horse. Right? And like I said, whoever wins this LSU Arkansas game is going to be in the championship game. Now, they're on the same side of the bracket. So who from the B1 from the bracket 1 would make it? I think Coastal and Arizona, I think they're going to have a fucking dogfight.
Yeah.
I think those 2 teams are there. Yes, Coastal won their regional. They won their super. They're on a very, very hot, very good hot streak. Arizona just beat number 5 team in the country in North Carolina.
And made them look bad.
After they lost 18-2 in game 1, by the way.
Yeah.
And just dog walked them from the rest of the time on. Oregon State and Louisville. But if Oregon State hits the ball like they did against Florida State in game 3,
dude, they were raking.
They will be in the championship.
Man, they were raking.
If they can hit it in Omaha like they did in that game 3 against Florida State, they will be in game 1 and game 2 and game 3 of the College World Series finals.
Yeah.
That's on that side of the bracket. I don't know if you want to write it down now, which you don't have to, because I'll further analyze it and all. But I mean, Oregon State as of right now is my dark horse to win it all, and I think they win that side of the bracket.
Oregon State's my pick to win that side of the bracket.
I don't see, especially if they keep it going.
I think it's going to be Coastal's going to get through Arizona, Oregon State gets through Louisville, and we have an absolute all eyes on Coastal, Oregon State.
I'll be honest, an ideal College World Series for me
is Coastal and Murray State.
Coastal Murray State.
100%. 100%. I would love to see a Coastal Murray State championship.
Would I love to see LSU in the fucking finals?
Absolutely. That goes without saying, though.
But Coastal and Murray State come out on top.
Yeah. How does this game, in my opinion, how does the game grow? It's not by a powerhouse winning. It's by an underdog winning.
Have you seen Murray State's baseball field?
Dude, yes. And the coach cuts it himself.
Yeah. Coach cuts the grass.
Yeah.
Coach had a great moment last night celebrating with his son.
Dude, I tell you, man.
And cut the interview short. Was mic'd up, doing an interview. Team
Man.
all surrounded him, and he goes, "Hey guys, look, love y'all, but gotta go," and took headset off and just said, "Bring it on, big boy." And they dumped
Yeah.
both Gatorade containers on him, and he just, I mean,
Embraced it.
first of all, shout out to that coach for staying that fucking fit at that age, because he has muscles I never even heard of.
Look, bro.
Pouring out his fucking arms when he's celebrating like that.
Dan Shurka.
Yeah, that's his name.
Dan
Dude's
Shurka,
a,
dude.
dude's a stud.
Look, A+ guy. All right. You could see, like, as soon as they started interviewing him, you can hear him kind of choke up a little bit. He's holding his boy in his arms.
Yeah.
Dude, as soon as out number 3 was made, I don't know where his son was.
I don't know where
but
he was
the
either.
gate must have opened to right there to
Either that
dugout,
or he was the bad boy.
because he came straight to Dad. Like, that was the first person that Coach Dan, the head coach Dan,
like,
embraced, was his son. And he came around the corner.
So we
It's
saw
like,
there's a view out there of LSU whenever they won.
yeah.
And Jay, like, you would think that Jay's like, you would think that he feels, hey, been there, done that. Like, yes, we won, and just give a little fist pump and move on about his day.
No.
But dude, like, Jay, like, threw his arms up and was so excited, turns around, hugs Nate Yeske, hugs Bryce, or God damn
Josh Jordan.
Josh Jordan, not Bo or Bryce. Sorry, guys. I know y'all are good people. But hugs Josh Jordan.
Yeah.
And then goes and celebrates with his team. Right? This motherfucker didn't go hug another coach. Nothing. He was like, "Where's my boy?" And all of a sudden, his boy comes running. You can read his lips. He goes, "Let's go!"
Yeah.
And hugs his son. Dude, what a moment!
What a moment.
Just a moment that
Oh.
everybody needs to embrace, especially a lower tier school like that. Like, they don't exactly have the funds. We don't know how they went there. Like, we don't know how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
Right. And they were, what is it? The only 4 seed. There's only been 4 seeds make it to Omaha. Murray State's 1. Fresno State was 1 in 08. In 12,
Coastal was one when they upset LSU.
Coastal wasn't a 4 seed then. I don't think. No.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure.
Stony Brook was one when they upset LSU in 12.
I think Coastal was a 4 seed.
There was 4. They showed it at the end of the broadcast. Okay, I was about to research it, but yeah. So Murray State is on that list though of 4 seeds to make it to Omaha.
Or Roberts.
Yes, or Roberts in 23.
Stony Brook. Okay, so I was a year off. Stony Brook got us.
Stony Brook, Fresno State.
Yep.
Which, if you remember, I think Fresno State might have won it that year. I don't know for sure, but 08 sounds like, because we won it in 09.
Mm-hmm.
So who won it the year before?
In 08, it was.
It wasn't Fresno State. Now that I think about it,
Yes, it was.
It was.
Yep.
So
Fresno State. They beat Georgia.
Yeah, so they got to be on the list of the only team as a 4 seed to win the tournament.
So let's see. They were the first ones to do it, and they won it. And then again in 12, where Stony Brook beat LSU. Stony Brook was not in the championship game. They were out. And then again in 23 with
Oral Roberts, and they got
Oral
booted.
Roberts. They got booted because that was LSU's Jay Johnson year with Skeens.
Right, and then this year we don't know.
So yes.
So Fresno State is the only team to ever, as a 4 seed, win the College World Series as of right now. Murray State has a strong. Well, I say they have a chance. They do have a chance, but let me tell you right now, brother. They got to get through Arkansas
or LSU.
They got to get through LSU. They got to get through UCLA.
Yep. 3
teams that won their regional and won the super. And when I tell you UCLA, remember I was like, I don't know if this UCLA team, buddy, they can fucking hit, they can pitch. UCLA has a chance as well. They have a stronger chance than Murray State for sure.
Yeah, I tell you, look, it's something, dude. I love this Murray State team, and after watching that interview with Dan Shurka, man, I tell you, that is just an A+ guy there. I mean,
yeah,
he was doing the interview and he saw him coming with the Gatorade bottles, and he even said on the interview, he's like, "Oh, these boys think they're going to get me, but I'm watching them." And then they got closer, and the whole team, as you talked about, came close to him. And I think it was that moment where he was like, "You know what? This interview's not important.
I gotta embrace this.
I gotta have I'm with the guys. We've spent a whole off season together. You spent a whole year together. You do this.
Just dudes being dudes. You know what I mean?
5 minutes ago, you just dogpiled because of a botch call in the 9th inning. Okay,
That was insane.
So you just dogpiled already. You had to, which by the way, the guy that was on the mound was at the bottom of that dog pile. He has to gather himself. The team has
He's
to
a
gather
stud.
himself.
Number 41. I wish I knew his fucking name. I'll look it up real quick. But
Yeah,
number 41's a dog.
But you got to gather yourself and go through all these emotions. You got to calm your emotion system down. Essentially, comes back in. I text you. I was like, man, now they're gonna freaking lose because we see this too many times. You celebrate too early, and then you get walked off or something. And I was like sick to my stomach last night watching when they overturned that call. And I get it. Was it the right call? Yeah, probably. Could it have gone Murray State's way? Yeah, it could have also. I wouldn't have been surprised either way. I wasn't surprised either way.
Grant Kellum.
Grant Kellum, who had just thrown the day before too.
6'4", 185, transfer from University of St. Francis.
Yeah. And he had just pitched like 3 innings the day before. 50
Yes, he
pitches.
did. He did, and fucking made it out of that game too.
Yeah, but dude, I tell you, look,
hold on, Murray State needs to get this right. Transferred from University St. Francis. Supposed to be of.
Yeah,
it's FO.
That's all right.
They're somebody. Whoever's making this page is dyslexic.
Hey, they might have been typing it out last night, and we're so excited they had tears in their eyes and just.
I don't think they typed this.
Yeah, probably not. But it sounds good.
But listen to this though. He made his all conference. He made his team made all conference, and he was 4th in the nation for saves. This is all before Murray State. He had a 2.95 ERA over 36 innings, 47 strikeouts in 12 saves.
Yeah,
and this is, I mean, he's 20, 22 years old. I mean, dude's a stud. Dude's a stud. God damn. Look,
do tell.
Fucking Graham. Don't mean to put your personal business out there, but
if it's online, it's not personal.
Your parents, they were doing some.
All right, yeah, you talk about that.
They were doing some conceiving, bud.
Jesus.
3 brothers and 2 sisters. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. A marketing major. All right, good for you, Graham. Graham, you're a dog, dude. The only thing I would tell you is, buddy, if you want to compete, you need to gain some weight. All right, 6'4", 185. You're already competing. You're a damn stud, I will say. But man, you put a little bit of weight on it. At least get that 185 to 200. Graham, you're probably not fucking listening, but if you are by any chance, we had a guy I went to high school with, Jacob Wagerspack, who's now pitching in the major leagues. Pitching for Tampa Bay Rays organization. He was, as a senior in high school, 6'4", 200 pounds. You are 6'4", 185, and you are a junior in college. That's the only thing wrong about you, buddy. You can fucking throw. You can throw strikes. You can save games. Obviously, you've proven that on damn near every level. But 6'4", 185, you got to gain a little bit of weight, bud. That's it. That's all I got to say. After that, and then look, you probably top out. I think he was topping out about 90, 94.
91, 92.
Okay. Yeah. Put on a little bit of weight, a little bit of muscle. Maybe drink some muscle milk. This isn't a plug by Muscle Milk, but if you drink some muscle milk, bud, that'd be a hell of a way. He's Graham. Also, if you're watching or listening, my dog's fucking stupid. So
my dog loves you.
Yeah. Anyway, I just noticed something. Actually, that hat. I like that hat.
Thank you.
That's a nice hat.
Thank you.
I got a donkey from Shrek moment just there. I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
Thank you.
Yes, but no, I mean, look.
This is not a plug from Brandon Bills, but Brandon Bills.
What you didn't have to say.
They have a whole LSU collection, so it's pretty awesome.
They do. I like that. Like a gray. It's like a kind of like a dark gray, not a black, but a dark gray.
Yeah.
With just like the
Like a
L
charcoal.
or like the Louisiana, but like purple and gold Louisiana, like state of Louisiana on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. But okay, so look, we talked about who has the
You had 12 brothers and sisters.
dude. Look, his parents.
Remember the Titans, one of the best movies ever.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Grab me one, please.
That was the plan.
Yeah. So okay, so I asked you who had the hardest go of it, right? And what was our answer?
LSU or Arkansas. I mean,
Yeah.
they're the two best teams you got to face each
You're on
other.
the same side of the bracket. It's kind of like LSU versus Tennessee. The year that we won it, like we had to play Tennessee twice, even though we played them that year. And I think we lost a series to them that year, or something. It was something wild.
Yeah.
And we had to play them like it was like the 5th time we played the team that year. So we've already played Arkansas 3 times. We beat them twice. There's gonna be a time where we might have to play Arkansas twice.
I'll say this: we'll have to play Arkansas twice.
So I think whoever wins this just runs through the winners bracket.
Yeah.
And whoever loses this game runs through the losers bracket, and they meet up again. And it's a Wake Forest situation. It's a LSU Wake Forest situation.
Yep.
It's exactly what it is.
I agree. And when you go back to your other question that you were going to ask, who has the
easiest?
Dude, I don't know, because I don't think anybody has an easy route.
I think Oregon State. Has the. If you had to pick a team,
If I had to pick a team,
I think it's Oregon State.
I'm picking Oregon State.
Because that's the bracket 1 right there. Oregon State, Louisville, Arizona, Coastal. Arizona, pretty damn good.
I'm changing my pick.
Okay.
If I had to make a pick, I'm going to pick Arizona. And here's the reason why. I know Coastal's
has the
on
easiest go of it.
Yes, I know Coastal has.
But they have to play Oregon State.
I know Coastal has a 20-something game win streak going on. But you just got beat 18-2. And you turned right back around and said, fuck y'all. That didn't even happen.
And beat the number 5 team in the country.
And you beat the number 5 team in the country at their house.
Correct.
Twice.
Yep.
Coastal Carolina cannot go undefeated forever. Now, can they make it through the rest of this year undefeated? 4 games? Sure. No problem. But they will eventually lose. And is the pressure of Omaha too much for them? Possibly. With Arizona saying, fuck y'all, I know we just lost 18-2, but here's who we really are. And you're coming back ready to rock, ready to roll. You know who you're facing in game 1. Louisville just ran through the super regional over there with no issues and just hit freaking – dude, the Louisville team was just hitting like they hadn't hit all year. And then they got to face an Oregon State team. That's going to be an absolute battle. If I'm tuned into one game, I'm tuned into Oregon State, Louisville, Friday night. Obviously, I'll be tuned into the first one too, but
I got a drinking problem. I just spilled.
You got no problem drinking at all, though.
That's right.
Who's that song by? We got to give him his credit.
Hold on.
Drinking at all?
Is it Old Dominion?
I don't know.
No, fuck.
We're so sorry that we forgot your name and we just quoted you.
Hold on.
But we were giving it is a song by someone. But dude, that's going to be a battle.
People say Midland.
Yeah, Midland.
That's
there
it.
you go. Midland.
That's it.
Drinking prop. That's going to be an absolute battle. And if Arizona takes care of this game on a 20-something game win streak by Coastal, you go into game 2 with a team that's absolutely exhausted, whether it's Oregon State or Louisville, because you just put everything you had in game 1.
Yeah.
And Arizona's been there, right? You've been in the exhausted back up against the wall. You wasted everything you had in game 1. You don't have a choice but to bounce back in game 2. So if I had to pick a team that had the easiest, it's Arizona, strictly based off the fact that Oregon State, Louisville is going to be a battle, and Coastal eventually has to lose. And I love Coastal. Y'all have heard me say for the last few episodes, if I could pick a team whenever I was a kid, I'm picking Cal State, LSU, or Coastal. That was the places I wanted to play.
Hey, what were you telling me about Cade?
Cade who?
Anderson.
I don't know.
about how he's projected. He's like the number 1 draft prospect.
He's projected to be the number 1 pick. I think he's the number 3 or 5 prospect, though, according to Kylie McDaniel.
Okay. All right. So turns out MLB.com
Okay.
previewed the College World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to look, see what they were saying. And I saw best 2025 prospect, Weewa Loy,
Mm-hmm.
SEC Player of the Year, more power than most shortstops, whatever.
Probably going to win the Golden Spikes Award.
So draft top 200 prospects: Aloy number 22, Root number 43, Gage Wood number 50, who went 2 innings against LSU, outfielder Charles Davalin, number 55. So I started reading this and I was like, what the fuck? But then I realized that was just Arkansas. LSU. Here we go. Best 2025 prospect. Left-handed pitcher Cade Anderson is the best pitcher in the draft. A polished 4-pitch southpaw who could get number 1 overall to the Nationals.
According to who, though?
MLB.com.
But the MLB didn't write this. There had to be a writer that wrote it.
No, Jim Callis.
Okay. Let me look up Kylie McDaniel's current draft.
So, top 200 prospects. Cade Anderson, number 3. Anthony Ianson, number 66. Danny Dix, number 72. Chase Shores, number 85. Jared Jones, number 99. Ethan Fry, number 130. Underclassmen to watch. Can you take a fucking guess?
Wait, say that again.
Underclassmen to watch.
Derek Carroll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Quick take. Quick take. Anderson and Ianson are also a formidable 1-2 pitching punch, and the Tigers could take national title if they prevail over Arkansas in their opener. This is the first time I'm looking at this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And fun fact, Arkansas has never won a national championship.
Correct. That is, yes.
That is a very fun fact.
Yeah, that is correct.
Oregon State, they have dudes, but the balance, look, listen to this. Quick take on Oregon State. The Balanced Beavers have the best chance of reaching College World Series championship because they don't have to clash with Arkansas or LSU. This is, again, MLB.com.
Right? But again, because they don't have to clash with who?
LSU or Arkansas.
Which tells you the 2 best teams in the World Series are who?
LSU and Arkansas. Here we go. Quick take on UCLA. The Bruins are a solid club, but not as loaded or as Arkansas or LSU. Both of whom are in their half of the bracket.
Yep.
Dude, it's fun to just watch this shit. Like, just listen to this. The Racers are making their first trip to Omaha, and they're just one of 4 number 4 seeds, which we've already talked about, in a 4-team regional to get there since tournament expanded from 64 to 64 teams in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking insane just to hear. So I mean,
here you go. I got something for you about Cade Anderson. So not only did Kylie McDaniel have him as the first pick, but first pick doesn't mean overall prospect.
Right.
It just means who they think will be the number 1 pick. Last week, this was posted 11 hours ago. Last week, MLB, and I quote from districtondeck.com. Last week, MLB Pipeline released their latest 2025 MLB mock draft with prospect writer Jonathan Mayo giving his latest rendition of how things will shake out in this month's draft. Washington Nationals have the first overall pick. They've had names like Steven Strasburg and Bryce Harper. Who will they pick? The name Mayo chose for the Nationals was lefty starter out of LSU named Cade Anderson, who elevated his performance as of recently with LSU. Still alive in the hunt for a College World Series title. Anderson has been the ace of their staff all season long, now appears to be a lock for a top 10 selection at minimum.
What's crazy is Ethan Holiday is not number one. Like, they've
So-
had him in number one.
So I skipped a paragraph here, but it's because it's not quoted by Mayo, who they're talking about.
Right.
But it says the consensus favorite pretty much since the lottery has been decided has been Ethan Holiday.
Right.
However, these teams recently, with the new rules in MLB, with the quicker you advance guys to the level, you get an extra draft pick in the first round.
Yeah.
You want MLB ready guys. Coach Rob, just last year,
Jackson.
Skeens. Okay, 2 years ago. Skeens within a year. DC within a year. Dylan Cruz, that is. Wyatt Langford within a year. Jack Caglione now within a year. Where are all these guys from? The collegiate level. These
You really want to
players-
narrow it down. They're from two schools.
Yeah. But soon enough, we're going to have Christian Moore, who's going to get called up this year. It's happening this year.
Ooh, I fucking hope so.
Okay.
God, I hope so. I'd love to see him in the show. He's still with the Angels.
Yeah, he's still with the Angels.
Yeah.
He's coming up here soon. Okay. Collegiate level guys. Okay.
Where did Braden Montgomery get traded to? The White Sox.
The White Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not getting
I'm
called up.
surprised he's not fucking called up yet.
So the White Sox have called up the guys that the Red Sox traded to him. Chase Meredith is called up. I don't think
Except
it's,
for Braden Montgomery.
yeah, except for Montgomery. And Meredith is not how you say his last name, but that's how I'm saying it.
Oh, Whit Merrifield?
Kyle Till just got called up the other day.
Yeah, but he was a fucking stud. Dude.
Yeah, he was one of the
He
big
was a
four.
stud.
Yeah. The Red Sox now have all four or all three of their top three in the show. But
Yeah.
point being, within the last 2 years, the first guys to make it to MLB rosters are guys out of college. And it's just the way that it is. And yes, it's been Florida and LSU. I got all that stuff. But soon enough, we're going to see SEMO this year. Barring an injury, we're going to see SEMO get there this year.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to see some other guys come up later this year that might be able to help out of the bullpen or something like that. Just hard throwers. I mean, these teams want MLB ready picks. And where do you get MLB ready picks? You get them from the SEC.
Correct.
And you get them from the top teams in the country. And it just is what it is. Like, that is why I think Ethan Holiday is not coming up within a year. Ethan Holiday gets drafted tomorrow. He's up in 3 years. Cade Anderson gets drafted by the Nationals tomorrow. He's probably up in a year and a half at most. We see him next
You wouldn't
trade
You
deadline.
wouldn't like to see Cade put on a little bit of weight.
Sure.
But I'm saying, like,
But-
to be MLB ready, do you think that happens, or you just
But
think he
he's-
gets called up
he's-
as is?
He's still 95, 96 with
Yeah,
four
no.
pitches.
Absolutely.
You know, and
And
that
four
is-
disgusting pitches at
yeah,
that.
and that's why when we're talking about who gets drafted where, that's why he goes 1-1.
You remember, like, the pretty much our high school days, we were told a lefty with 92 in his pocket is MLB ready.
I mean, D1 ready at the worst. Look at DJ.
Right.
He's 88
Right.
pitching for LSU on a consistent basis.
Right.
Cooper Williams, who we're going to talk about here in just a second.
So,
'cause
okay,
we got to give
that's-
Cooper Williams some praise here for what he did. Cooper Williams is 88 to 91. I
and
mean,
we've talked so much shit about Coop too. And that's one thing. So I was about to tell you,
because
Coach,
we eventually got to cover these two games. that
right.
we
So
played.
coach, I pulled the notes up and I went, we didn't talk about anything we fucking came in here to talk about.
Have we not?
We've been in here for an hour so far. Well,
Yeah.
longer than an hour, but we've been recording for about an hour now.
Yeah.
And we have things in the notes.
We only have three.
Well,
It's really only three things.
Well, okay, so here we go. So let's get two things out of the way right now. Well, two of these points out the way right now. We made picks. And we made picks. We made over-under picks, and we made game picks, and
Yeah.
all this shit. Coach Jace came out on top.
Woo!
The only one that I won is no one got thrown out in Tennessee and Arkansas. No one got ejected. which is shocking.
Shocking. Jesus.
You had one moment where Zach Root was talking shit to Fisher, and that was it. That was it.
2 moments, but yeah.
What was the other one?
When he struck him out. When he struck him out high and
What was the other one then?
The one at first base.
Okay.
The known one that's out there where he was
Got it.
walking back pointing to him at first base.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 2 bullet points. All right. The other was let's talk LSU Supers. LSU Super Regional. I picked LSU in 3. It's on the page before. I picked LSU in 3, and I believe you picked them in 2.
I picked them in 2 because I came on here and I said,
Yeah.
Cindy Lou Who, bippity boppity boo, what can Canes do for you? LSU in 2.
You got to fucking stop that. It's cringing. It's just it's awful.
You had LSU in 3, yes.
Yeah, I had LSU in 3 because I figured, look, West Virginia was a fucking good team. And yeah, and we didn't expect Pat McAfee to be there, mainly because Money in the Bank was this past weekend.
Correct.
Still haven't watched.
You want me to ruin it for you?
No, I don't. I really don't. So those 2 points.
Not a paid promotion by Pat.
Yeah.
by
So
WWE.
you won the game picks 3-2 because there were some games on there where we both picked the same, like North Carolina, and they lost. Right. So you won 3-2. Daniel Dickinson, thank you so much for keeping the ball on the ground or getting hit by a pitch, which you did, or walking or striking out, because you got Coach Jace a win on that.
That boy, Dan.
Tennessee home runs hit. You also won that one because you bet the under, and they didn't do shit.
Shockingly,
they didn't do
nothing.
a fucking thing.
What was our over under there? That was
I think that was at 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5, and they hit 3 total in 2 games.
Yeah,
it's amazing what happens when you're not playing at
you would think
punyfield.com.
Well, you would think if you get to a third game, it gets close.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they didn't. So we should have
They also
also
weren't playing at Tennessee.
All right,
punyfield.com.
So next time we do this shit, we're gonna take notes, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go if it goes 2 games, these are it, and if it goes 3 games, this is our over under. Like,
yeah, that's why I want to clarify the LSU 2 and Q, or LSU's there all week, because it makes a big difference.
No, with Rocco's, fuck that. No, we beat our record for sure. It's a given. It's a given. Because who else is going to beat that record? No one.
Yeah, no one.
There's no one in their right mind that is going to buy over 60. That is going to buy 69,000 Jello shots. There's no one.
That is so.
Dude, I'm telling you, you'd walk into Rocco's, fucking nut to butt with everybody, and that's a Navy term, right? I hate to make the Navy sound a little,
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean?
No, we're not trying to get canceled.
No, we're not. But I hate to make the Navy sound, like that. But in boot camp, we were told we had to stand nut to butt, which is, you're this far in front of you're this far behind the person in front of you.
Yeah.
And the person behind you is this far.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
so
how it is.
Nut to butt.
If you sneeze, it's over with.
Oh, yeah. You're getting beat the fuck up. It might not be right at that moment, but at some point, you're getting beat the fuck up. If you sneeze on the dude, first of all, if you sneeze, you'll give the person in front of you a concussion, and you'll also have one because you're that close. You're bumping heads, dude.
Yeah.
And not in a good way. You know what I mean? So you're bumping heads, right?
Right.
But dude, you're walking through Rocco's nut to butt, and you go to buy a Jello shot, and they're like, no, they're passing them out. And then someone brings you a tray of Jello shots and goes, hey, can you pass these out?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
sure. And you're giving them to Florida fans. You're giving them to fucking Wake Forest fans, whoever's still there.
Yeah.
Anybody. You're just handing them out.
Does anybody want a free shot?
Take this tray from me. I don't give a fuck. Right. And then if somebody takes a tray from you, you go ask for another tray. And you do the exact same thing.
So, okay. So hold on. Can we talk about
we need to go.
the legitimacy of Rocco's here for a second, because they could have easily. You walk up after Gordon and Todd Graves call in fucking $1 million worth of shots.
Right.
They could have easily charged you $5 a shot. But instead of doing that, like they live by their morals and they're just like, no, here's a free one. LSU fans aren't paying for nothing
Well,
today.
I'm sure when they get the fucking call.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like they could have easily done that and at nighttime update the shot board.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to tell y'all.
They updated
We
that
just
shot
got a
board.
phone call.
They updated the shot board every hour.
Yeah, they do. And then that's what's fantastic about them is like the legitimacy of people buying shots there and the fanfare of, you know, you're so-and-so fan, you're so-and-so fan, you're so-and-so fan, and they take the note and jot down the tally and whatever is very legit.
I thought it was raining outside.
And it's the fact that, again, they could have easily made you pay $5 for a shot. But instead they said, hey, look, we just got 2 phone calls for however much money.
I'm telling you.
Here it is. Like, we are not taking your card. We're not taking your cash. We're not taking anything.
Yeah.
Here's the tray. Pass them out. Like, dude, that's awesome because they could have easily taken your money and just been like, fuck it.
Gordon bought 8,888 shots because that's his number, 888.
This is not a pay promotion.
It's not, but thank you, Gordon. You know, get Gordon, get it done type shit. Right. So,
however, if you want to pay.
However, Gordon, NIL deal. We're not in college.
All right, let's go. Let's talk.
Okay,
some games here.
LSU Supers.
2 games,
LSU Supers.
Just pretty quick.
We go
an hour and 6 in.
That's fine. LSU Supers. We went 2-0 against West Virginia, which I didn't think so. West Virginia was fucking. We previewed him, and we said, you know, this guy, whatever. I actually just threw those notes away. And I gave your notes to my mom because mom came over here and was like, "Are we worried about West Virginia?" I said, "Let me show you." And I gave your set of notes to mom, and she started looking through them, and she goes, "So they got one guy?" And I was like,
Griffin Kern.
Yeah, and he did okay.
The thing is, like, you got more than one guy, right? You had Griffin Kern, who was really good. I thought it was a horrible idea for them to throw him in game 1 because he had just closed the regional out on Sunday after pitching on Friday against Kentucky, where he went 7 1/3, and then didn't pitch Saturday, and then pitched on Sunday against Kentucky again, closing out the game. And sure, it was only 1 inning. It was like 15 or 18 pitches or something like that. It wasn't a lot of pitches, but you're talking two games in 3 days. That, I mean, you know, that's a rare feat in the day of age now where you're trying to protect pitchers' arms and things of that sort. So I didn't expect him to start. I was really shocked by that. However, it is definitely raining. I'm seeing lightning strike through here. But
according to my grandmother, rest in peace, just because there's lightning in the area does not mean it's raining.
Well, it's lightning. So, but, you know, Griffin, dude, I tell you, he didn't look his sharpest.
That was thunder.
Yeah.
So lightning is approximately 3 clicks away. I think it was 3 seconds between the lightning strike and the thunder.
But dude, I tell you, look, it was one of those things, and I said on the last episode that I thought Jack Kartsonis was going to start game 1, and we were going to see Griffin Kern in game 2. It was opposite of that. We saw Griffin Kern game 1. We got to him. We saw Jack in game 2, and look, Jack, man, I want to talk about game 2 because watching game 2 pissed me off as an LSU fan for West Virginia. Because, yes, I'm an LSU fan. Yes, I'm a Red Sox fan. But at the same time, I love baseball. And watching Jack Kartsonis.
I think we're both like that.
Yeah. Watching Jack Kartsonis pitch, he was exhausted. In inning 1, he threw 27 pitches in inning 1, and his jersey was a different color than the rest of the team because he was drenched.
And he got on the bench, and they showed him on the bench too.
Yes.
After that first inning, and I mean, he was deep breaths.
He was absolute struggle.
He was forehead and hands. He was struggling.
And then You go to second inning. I thought there was no shot you're bringing him out in second inning. You didn't use Chase
no way.
Meyer. You didn't bring in Chase Bassinger. That's
You
your
saved
two guys.
You saved guys for game 2.
Exactly. You saved them for game 2. Inning 1 ends, and it's already like 3 or 4 to nothing in inning 1. Whatever,
Let me pull
whatever
it,
it
up,
was, that's really not what I'm focused on right here. But he comes out in inning 2, and dude, he throws like 35 pitches or something like that. Doesn't even get, or no, he does get out of inning 2. And it's a 5-0, 6-0 game at this point. And I'm sitting there watching the game, and I got my fiance next to me, and I'm like, okay, I understand, like, these guys.
It was 1-0 after the first.
Okay, so what is after a second?
6-0.
6. Okay. 1-0 after the first. We're just talking about some high pressure moments. I mean, 27 pitches and, like, high pressure moments. But I'm watching this guy in the second inning, and my fiance's next to me, and I'm like, there's no way. I can see from the couch as a fucking couch coach and see that this guy is exhausted on the mound. And West Virginia's coach, he's a young guy, first-year head coach. Not too sure what's going through his head here.
Sorry, bud.
It's all good. I'm not too sure what's really going through his head here. But, dude, I'm sitting there as a couch coach watching this game saying, what are you waiting for? This is not a midweek game where you're just throwing anybody trying to make it to the weekend and save your bullpen. This is an elimination game, too, to get to the College World Series. And yet you bring this guy back out here, Jack Cartsonis, which hope he's healthy, okay? Because we saw him after in that second inning. They panned to him, and he's kind of flexing the arm a little bit. He's massaging the elbow. Hope he's okay, for real.
I do too, seriously.
But, dude, you got Reese Bassinger who can give you 80, 85, 90 pitches. He's like 9-1 on the year. You got Chase Myers who can give you 80 pitches. You saved your two best guys. Why are you letting this guy suffer out on the mound? I could not understand. It was 2-0 in the second, and I'm like, you got to take this guy out. And then 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. I'm like, holy shit, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm getting pissed off at West Virginia for not taking him out. Like, what are you doing? This is not how you coach an elimination game. And then in the fourth inning, they put him on the headset, and this is the part that pissed me off the most. And look, I like this coach for West Virginia. I think he's got a bright future. Young guy, like I said, seems to be driving in all the right directions and pushing his team in all the right places. But gets on the microphone in the ESPN interview, and they ask him like, "Hey, how's Jack?" They pan to him a couple of times while he's in a dugout. Saw he was soaking wet, just kind of drenched. He was flexing his elbow a little bit, massaging it.
That heat's different.
And the coach said, he's been battling a sickness all week. So you see him struggling on the mound.
MJ flu game.
You see him fucking just dying out there. I mean, dude was soaked. All right, he used all the rosin in the rosin bag.
Dude, he did, and he put
it was every
there.
pitch. He was going all the way up to the elbow.
Yeah, he came all the way up to the elbow with it.
It was every pitch. He was going rosin bag, front, back, side to side, in between every fucking finger. All, yeah, But dude, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, how long do you just leave this guy hanging out to dry? Because if I'm Jack, of course I'm not looking in the dugout saying like, "Come take me out," because I'm just a fucking warrior in a elimination game. But at the same time, as I'm on the mound struggling, clearly I don't have my best stuff. You've been knowing I've been battling a sickness all week long. You saw me in the dugout flexing my fucking elbow and massaging it. You see me out here drowning in my own fucking sweat. I need a new jersey because I'm 10 pounds heavier now with all the fucking sweat that's on this jersey. And you're still leaving me in here in a 5-0 game, and this is an elimination game. it made no sense to me as a former coach. And yes, I never coached at that level, but as a former coach, when you're getting eliminated and you got your best guys ready and available, you go get them because this is an elimination game and you worry about game 3 later. And dude, I felt bad for Jack. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt so fucking bad. I'm pretty sure I texted you that. I feel so bad for him.
How many batters do you think he faced in those 2 innings?
So he went around the order. He faced 17.
16.
Okay.
16.
In 2 innings.
You lost.
By 1, yeah. In 2 innings.
Yeah. In 2 innings. Faced 16 guys. In the first, he faced 6. In the second, so they had, in the first, Kirill doubles.
I couldn't believe he came out in the second. Yeah, leadoff double.
So Kirill doubles on a 2-1 count. Fry flies out.
Flies off?
Yeah.
His fly was off?
Well, Fry flies out to center, right? And then Milan walked, which I love this lineup by Jay.
Dude, I tell you, throw everybody off.
And we texted about it. Actually, no, I was there. I was at your house.
Yeah.
I was at your house for that game. It was game 1. And we talked about it, like, what the fuck? And the only thing we could really think of was, okay, well, maybe Jay's doing this to give certain guys certain pitches because he's putting a guy with a higher batting average but in front of a guy with a lower batting average or behind a guy with a lower, whatever. Like, we started talking about it and we're like, what the fuck? Like, we started thinking, what the fuck? Well, then it worked. It worked a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, we're not going to question Jay. We might say, like, what the fuck is his lineup? But that's not us questioning Jay saying he don't know what he's doing because clearly he does.
Now, if they lose 16-0,
yeah, people are going to second guess it, but
yes.
We're still not going to come on here and say, man, what the fuck was Jay thinking? What an
no,
idiot.
No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
we're not going to be your typical LSU fans.
No. So Jake Brown reaches on a fielder's choice. Milam out at second. Kirill scores. So this makes it 1-0, right? Jerry Jones singles, which I told Victoria, you know, what I normally tell you, how Jared had another big one, right? And then they had a mound visit after the Jared Jones single on an 0-2 count.
Which I said for sure he was coming out.
Was that mound? No, is mound visit players only, is what this says.
Yeah, but buying time.
Right.
Buying time.
So I'm thinking buying time for the guy warming up in the pen.
Chase Meyer.
Right. And we saw that. Well, then Dickinson flies out. I think if Dickinson gets on base there, I think they pull him. But Dickinson flies out, right? And then fun fact about Ianson, his first 4 strikeouts, which were his first 4 batters faced, were all drop third strikes, throw to first.
Oh yeah, the first 3 strikeouts of
the first 4.
I know, but the strikeout the side was all in the dirt.
Yeah.
And Victoria, I love my fiance. She looked at me. She said, "If you just catch the fucking ball, you wouldn't have to." I said, "Baby,
he's throwing a 58-foot pitch.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He had no chance of catching the ball.
0.
Like, he blocked it right in front of him. Came out twice, threw from the foul territory the third time.
Right, and Jerry Jones switched bags.
Yeah, which is legal.
Yes.
And I'm like, baby, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Well, I just want him to catch the fucking ball. And I'm like, I understand. I want him to catch the ball too. I was a catcher. Your whole job is to do the first 5 letters of that 7-letter word is to catch. Like, I got it.
No.
But at the same time, he didn't have a chance to catch them.
You know what's crazy? LSU put up 5 with 2 outs. I didn't even realize this at that point. In the second inning, they go ground out, line out, Stanley walks, Kirill walks, Fry walks. So now you got bases loaded. Well, then they go mound visit. And you think for sure, all right, he's coming out here. He's coming out. He's taxed. He's done. Nope. Coach leaves the mound and walks back to the dugout. Everybody goes back to their positions. And you got to think this pitcher is just
sitting there. What the fuck?
He got diarrhea running down his leg, buddy. He is just not at this point. He's just not it. He's out. Well, Milam comes up, and thank God he does what he does. And if Milam can keep whatever he has going, I don't know if he's also on the Jared Jones train, running a train probably with Jared Jones or whatever he's doing. Every time Coach Jace puts his head on the mic, obviously I say something fucking stupid, but it makes sense. For those of you baseball guys, you know what I'm saying makes sense.
Locker room talk, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. And I love how they put in this one, scored SC. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. Score 3. Okay. So Milam hits the double down the line and 3-run score. Fry.
I did it again. It's been sitting here for a couple minutes.
Yep. Mark it hour 20. So Milam doubles down the right field line, scores 3 RBI day. Well, probably more than that. I don't know. I hadn't looked, but then Jake Brown's singles. Milam scores. Wild pitch. Jake Brown advances. Jared Jones singles to center field. Love that. It was on a 2-2 count. Jared Jones loves those 2-strike counts. Normally, he just fucking looked at the pitch right down the middle.
I was about to say, does he love it?
He thrives sometimes. Okay. Jake Brown scores. And then Danny Dix does what he does. Kind of not best, but sometimes strikes out swinging. Okay. That ends the inning. But you would think the mound visit be to pull this guy. You would think after the double down the right field line, after the mound visit, they pull this guy. You would think after the Jake Brown single to right field to score Milam, hey, let's pull this guy. You would think after the Jared Jones or even after the fucking wild pitch on Jared Jones, hey, we got to pull this guy. I've seen people pull pitchers in 2-0 counts. You threw 2 balls in a row, hey, you're gone. Like we gotta put somebody else.
We've seen it a lot.
You just walked a guy. You just walked a guy 4-0. You threw 6 balls in a row. Hey, we're pulling you.
Yeah.
Like you've only thrown 6 pitches.
Yep.
But all of them were balls, so you're gone. And then Jared Jones singles to center. You would think after that,
I did it.
You pull him.
I did it.
I mean, I've obviously.
I mean, look again. It's not at that level, but coaching, we took a 6-0 lead in the top of the first. Bottom of the first, I had my number 1 on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
First game on
what
Sunday,
age?
12 or 13. 12. Had my number 1 on the mound.
Trying to think of who was on the team.
At this time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. First guy gets
Is he
on.
playing high school baseball currently?
No, he's in college now. Playing college ball.
Oh, okay. This is back.
Yeah.
This is before me and you were coaching together.
Yeah. This was my second year. So before you came down. Second year.
God damn, those motherfuckers are still in college? You old fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking 6-year senior.
Yeah. So again, this is my number 1 guy.
Right.
This is game 1 on Sunday. We were like the bottom seed.
Yeah.
Game 1 on Sunday. We take a 6-0 lead in top of the first. He goes, ball 4, first and second, nobody out. I go to the mound, pull him. Like, dude, you can't wait. Like, again, as a coach, you can't wait. You just got to know the time to go. We ended up losing that game in extra innings, like 10-9 or something like that. But
you
just got to go.
Now, look, for West Virginia, like on their side now, I mean, we've been talking about their pitcher and all, but offensively, they just couldn't handle 101 from Chase Shores, 102 from Chase Shores.
Dude, I tell you,
you know, it's and look, your wish all year, let him come out the pen. Let him come out the pen,
man.
And sure enough, when he gets that strikeout to end the inning and walks off the field with that Conor McGregor walk,
launches the glove.
Well, no, I'm not saying at the end. I'm just saying when he finishes the inning.
Oh, all right. I thought you were talking about game.
No.
The game winning K.
Right. So like he throws 102.
Yeah.
Right, and he knows he threw 102, but he had to check.
Yeah, looks back.
And he's almost
at it.
He's almost to the foul line. and then turns back.
Yeah.
And sees 1 and 2. And he just, and I mean, it's still just Vince McMahon, Conor McGregor, call it what you want. Vince McMahon did it first. But he is, I mean, walking off the mound with that.
Arms flailing.
Just with that, dude. And you are just excited. Another pitcher for LSU that did it this weekend, Cooper.
Dude, I tell you, very impressive.
Victoria's watching TV. Cooper Williams. And we've been hounding this guy all year. We've been saying, man, every time he comes in, it's just fucking, it's balls. He walks people. He hits guys. We've been hounding him all year. And I'd love to talk to him and apologize to him because this dude has turned into a man. This kid.
The growth.
This kid freshman has turned into a fucking man.
It has been so much fun to watch his growth.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we will talk as much shit. Y'all know how it is. We talk shit on here. We cuss at
that
people.
point, y'all can call us typical LSU fans.
But we're not typical LSU fans because we're not saying, teams trash, fire everybody, get rid of everybody. Da, 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 da. That's what typical LSU fans are doing. Fire JJ. I mean, we lost to Omaha in weekend 2 of the season. And people were saying, oh, Jay Johnson's like Ed Orgeron, had one good run. He fucking blows. Like, fire him, fire the whole staff, get rid of everyone. Like, dude, we're not those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not those guys. Jay Johnson builds. Jay Johnson, no matter how much you love the West Coast or hate the West Coast bullshit, Jay Johnson builds, and he builds to win. And he has won everywhere he's been. He took Arizona to the College World Series twice.
And now Arizona is
back.
Good.
He comes to LSU, and
this is his 4th year.
Dude, this is his 4th year, and in the last 8 years, take out COVID, because obviously we didn't have a World Series in COVID. Take out COVID 2020. In the last 8 years, Jay Johnson's teams have gone to the College World Series 4 times. This is a winner front to back, up and down, side to side, no matter how you look at it.
And we were this close to last year going. We were this close. I mean, dude, his team, he recruits well. He fucks with a transfer portal.
Somebody
night and day
wants to play for him. When he sits down at the family table or at Stabs or at wherever, because Yetsky was with Ben, talked about it. They went to Stabs that night. Saturday night, and saw Yetsky with a player, taking him out to eat because that's legal now.
Yeah,
right. And saw Yetsky out with a player. Whether he sits down,
probably a pitcher.
Yes, with a pitcher. Whether he sits down in your family's living room and talks to player mom and dad, player mom whoever, player dad and whoever else is there. So little brother, going full Michael Orr here, blindside. You can lead the team out of the tunnel kind of deal. Whatever the case may be here. Jay Johnson knows how to recruit. He knows what to say. He knows what to do to get the best players. Dude, last year, the freshmen that came here, the guys that transferred over the course of his 4 years, when you look at it, are number 1 or number 2 players in their state. He's not getting number 50 in the state of Montana. They're getting number 1.
They're not worth it.
He's not getting number 2 in the state of Texas. He's getting the best pitcher out of Texas in Kason Evans.
Who is our Friday night guy next
He's
year.
getting the best catcher out of Texas in Cade Arambidi.
Buddy, you don't see you.
Oh, I do, because I'm fired up right now. Like, because it's the crowd that's like, fire Jay. He don't know what he's doing. He's not a good coach. He's not the – no, fuck you and watch baseball, okay? Because this guy knows what he's doing, and he's one of the best to ever do it already to this point.
Like the coldest?
Like the coldest, bro. Crawford.
The coldest to ever do it.
Yeah. Dude, like.
What a name.
The fact that we have people out there, we have LSU supposed fans out there that's like, oh, Jay don't know what he's doing. Oh, Jay don't do this. Oh, Jay don't get the right guys. Oh, Jay, we got to fire Jay because this, that, and the other. He's on the hot seat because you got off to a bad start in the best conference ever last year. Bro, watch the game and watch what he does. There is nobody currently that is a head coach of a collegiate Division I baseball team. Nobody that hates losing more than they love winning than Jay Johnson. None out there. Not Tony, and we love Tony. Not Tim, who's been around forever. Not Kevin O, who's been around forever. Not Paulin from Duke.
Not what's his fuck from Texas.
Not Slosh from Texas. This
Slosh
guy
is a very appropriate name. Fuck that guy.
Hates losing, okay? Jay hates losing, and he fucking loves to win. And when you watch any interview that he does, he will never put down a team or a player. He will take full responsibility when they lose, and when they win, he gives the team all the credit and the coaches all the credit. This is a guy that back in 2023 said there is no place I would rather be. This is the best place for me and the only place for me. And 2 days ago came out and repeated that exact same sentence after you go to Omaha. This guy loves being in purple and gold, plain and simple. He loves LSU. He loves Baton Rouge. He loves the 13,000 on hand every fucking night. Okay.
LSU's led the country in attendance for
like a million straight years.
Right.
This guy bleeds purple and golden. So all of you fans out there that overreact to one game at a time instead of waiting on the season to end or instead of watching how the season ends, just tune in and watch the game. All right. Because it's way better than what it looks.
Can we get a new flag? Now I'm thinking about it.
You want a new flag? I don't know. It's going to change the subject, but.
Well, no, I'm not changing the subject, but can we get a new flag and instead of black background, do purple?
Sure.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, she got the PDF. Tell her.
Yeah, I'll let
we'll do it.
Yeah, who ordered that one? You?
She did.
She did
on Amazon. It was like $16 that flag.
That's right. Okay. I'll get her to do it. But no. So you know who else it has that fucking dog mentality that we just did not know? Cooper Williams,
Dude,
right? The guy we were just talking about. It goes two and 2/3, 33 pitches, 10 batters face.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a hell of a number. It's a great fucking number of pitches. Allows 1 hit, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. But that 1 strikeout was to end the inning.
And he come off fired up.
We all know that Cooper Williams from Alvin, Texas, same place as Nolan Ryan, is a little bit of I'm not going to say he's I want to say he's an uncoordinated fuck. That's what I want to say.
Dude, when you watch him pitch, he looks like it.
No, but I mean,
but he's so in control of his uncoordination.
But like even like coming off the mound with that, like me, and you've seen it. Like me,
yeah.
I got rhythm, right?
You do, bud.
I do.
You really
I do. I got rhythm.
It's
like,
very impressive.
I can hold my own. I'm not your average white guy. You know what I mean? I guess you can say it like that. Cooper Williams is probably your average white guy. And he's for sure a PO.
I love this podcast.
Okay, but Coop, when he came off the mound, dude, and I mean, dude, he tried so hard to like really like, you know, be in the moment, and he did a great job. I'll give that to him. But he just like, even with his like movements, dude, he was like just uncoordinated. But dude, he has grown into a fucking man, and he is going to be a big part
of the future
of the future and of this run in the College World Series.
Absolutely, he has solidified himself in the bullpen along with Rizzy, Shores, Evans, Cowan. Like he is there with those guys.
I'm nervous about because when it comes crunch time,
Mhm.
Is Cohen going to be the Cohen in the regular season, or is he going to be the Cohen in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he got that start. He got the start, and we were all nervous about it. Well, that was my wish, man. Bring him. Just don't bring him on the pin. Let him be the Sunday guy.
Right.
And he got that. We got that wish,
Yeah.
and did not do well.
No, it wasn't good.
It's casing. It's casing.
Yeah, it's casing. He's going to be Friday night next year. It don't matter who you bring in.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not exactly that nervous about this.
Here's why I loved Cooper Williams' outing in that game. We were up, obviously, when we took him out. When Jay walked to the mound to take him out,
And who's this talking about?
Coop.
Okay.
He was pissed.
He was living.
You could see he didn't put the glove up.
He just wanted one more guy.
Dude, he didn't put the glove up to his face and start talking to himself. Glove was down, ball was down by his side, and he's just talking. And you could basically read his lips saying, "Oh, you fucking idiot! Why didn't you get this out? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you don't take me out right now? I'm feeling it." Dude. I love a guy that refuses to come out. We talked about Garrett Cole a couple years ago whenever he was facing the Astros I think it was the ninth inning. He was at like 121 pitches, just gave up a hit. It was a one-run game, and Aaron Boone comes out, and Garrett Cole puts the glove over his mouth. And he's like, "You're not fucking taking me out." And he goes strike three and looks directly at Aaron Boone in the dugout. Like, this is why you're not taking me out.
You think Garrett Cole's practicing PFPs in his off time?
No, he's rehabbing from
Well, I know
TJ.
he's rehabbing, but as part of his rehab PFPs,
Nah,
should be.
He might be watching video on it, but he's not out
He
there.
may be watching
around.
Joe Kelly talk about it.
Yeah. But dude, like, that's the kind of shit that we love to see as coach. Give me that dog mentality all day, every day.
Yeah. Well, look, in closing, finals for College World Series is going to be LSU versus Oregon State, and can't wait to watch it. So, Coach, why don't you go ahead and close us out? Hour 36, hour 37 in pretty much.
Yeah.
And we barely talked about what we want to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Look, it's a lot of fun doing this. Always, as you know, if I think our main goal, besides coming in and talking about baseball, is just make y'all laugh. If we can bring a smile and make you laugh a little bit, then we did our job. No, but I'd love it if you just wait like 30 more seconds before you start eating. That'd be fantastic. So, we're gonna do what we keep doing here, and again, I promise y'all, we got things coming. All right, we got some really cool things happening that we've been working on for a while, and it's something that me and Coach Rob are very excited about. We can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you want the teaser is he committed to a school today. That's all I'm giving you. I'm not telling you what school. I'm not telling you where. I'm not telling you how. Committed to a school today. Go figure it out on your own.
D1 baseball player.
If you want to. This guy is a fan of we're a fan of his for sure. Can't wait to have him on. He'll actually be sitting in with us. Not going to do it over the phone, which is going to be a lot of fun to have him here. So can't wait to get some questions out. Can't wait to ask some stuff. But promised y'all things have been in the making. Things are happening. Just stick with us. Keep liking. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing. I'm Coach Jace. That's Eating Coach Rob over there. And we're your boys here at Diamond Deck Discussions. Unfiltered.